The song I want to look at today has to be one of the most romantic songs ever written. If you were in a cover band, as I was through most of the 90s and into the very early 2000s, you played this song, especially at wedding receptions. Can you guess what song I'm talking about? Obviously, a lot of songs from the 70s fit this description, but we're going to look at one of the most famous of them all, and it's a song called Color My World by the famous jazz rock fusion band Chicago. So why this song? There's a lot of videos that show you how to play this song. I chose this one because we've been looking at seventh chords recently, learning how to play them in every key, and this song starts with one of the most famous seventh chords in popular music. You only need to play the first measure of the song, and just about everybody knows what you're playing. I want to show you how this song is put together musically. It has a chord progression that is anything but ordinary. It works amazingly well, and once you hear it, you just can't forget it. So this very famous song starts out with what I consider to be one of the most famous seventh chords in popular music. Now, if you just play it like this, that's just your garden variety F major seventh chord. But if you play it like this, well, just about anybody who's my age and maybe even a little younger and definitely a little bit older will know immediately what song you're playing. So we start out and we're in the key of F in 6/8 time with the famous F major chord. Now, I've given you the chord symbols, the basic chord symbols with the letter names and so on, but I've also included the Roman numeral analysis underneath. So you'll notice that we begin with F major 7, and we'll call this the 1 major 7 chord. And then we have an inverted version of the F major 7 chord, and you'll notice that the Roman numeral symbol is 1 with the little 6/4. Now, I'll explain what those numbers mean in a future video, but for now, that's how you designate a second inversion chord. This would be root position F major 7. This is F major 7 first inversion. This is F major 7 second inversion. And so that's how you would write that in Roman numeral symbolism. We're not going to worry too much about the Roman numerals at this point, but they're there for your reference, and I will fully explain those later on. But for now, let's look at the basic chord symbols. So we have an A minor over C, and B flat. So far, we're basically in the key of F with some very recognizable chords. And now here's the first surprise that they've pulled. So we have an E flat major 9. Very lush. These seventh chords and ninth chords, they just give you this very romantic, lush sound. I mean, he could have played straight E flat. But that just sounds, it's okay. It sounds okay, but this sounds, I don't know, richer, fuller, more romantic. And then even another surprise. Now we've gone far away from the key of F major. Well, maybe not too far, but another beautiful seventh chord with the inversion, and then, well, now we're a half step higher than where we started. But now look where we go. And what the composer has done here, which is very clever, You've got this G flat in the bass, and then it goes to this inversion, and then a bunch of chromatic movement here. You have these top three notes in the right hand, and they all move down half a step. Even just by itself, these two chords together, it's very beautiful, but very unusual. And then the bass, which is on this D flat, jumps up half a step. So you have this contrary motion between the right hand and the left hand. And then here we have a straight D7 over F sharp, and now we have this G major 7th chord. And then we have the same thing where we have this contrary motion between the left hand and the right hand. So you have this chord in the right hand, this G major 7, and it's over D. The top three notes move down. The F sharp goes to F, the D goes to D flat, and the B natural goes to B flat. So, and at the same time, this D in the left hand moves up to E flat. Very clever, very surprising, but yet somehow it sounds very natural. And now, all of a sudden, we're back to our C7, and it just hangs on there. It's just building and building, and then we're back to our that F major 7, and then we have a very standard 4, 5, and then it repeats again. The whole song, it goes through it again. And after you've had this beautiful vocal sung with the very meaningful lyrics, we have the flute solo. I'm not going to worry about the flute solo right now, but let's pretend that we've just played it through the second time now. B flat, C7, and then this final chord. That's wild. You don't hear too many pop songs using a chord like this. What chord is this, for heaven's sakes? Well, there's two ways to look at it. You can think of it as, here's F major 7, F major 9, F major 11, F major 13, F major sharp 15. Wow. Another way to look at it would be to say this is a polychord. So there's our F major 7, the chord that we started out with, and on top of it, we have a G major 7. Now, of course, you don't play it in one big block like this, but you kind of build on it. It sounds even thicker and more complex in the recording. This is just sort of the way to break it down. If you want to learn how to play the solo part and the accompaniment, then come on over to Patreon and become a patron of At Home with Music. And in your special video for patrons only, I'll show you how to do it. If you have any questions or comments, please be sure to leave those in the comment section. I appreciate all of you who have subscribed and all of you who have become patrons of At Home with Music. I appreciate it very much. I look forward to speaking to you in the next one.